Live from the tank here on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet brings to you NCAA Division II women's basketball action live on the ECC network. Today's matchup features the Bears of Bloomfield College taking on the College of Staten Island Dolphins. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nicholas Pavona, and for now we will have an extended version of the McDonald's pregame show. And for this pregame show, I will be joined by my broadcast partner, Joe Foreman.
Nick, thank you for welcoming me into the McDonald's pregame show. Unfortunately, I can't be here for today's game, but we're having a bit of an extended McDonald's pregame show so that you and I can get a chance to talk a bit more CSI Dolphins women's basketball.
Yeah, and the Dolphins are coming off a big high this past Tuesday with a huge win over Wilmington, a 77-51 win against the Wildcats in a game in which, Joe, the Dolphins had 51 bench points coming off of a game in which they had a different starting lineup. The bench really provided a spark for CSI. Kyra Rose led the way with 20 points. What did you like from the CSI in that game on Tuesday that they could duplicate in today's game against Bloomfield?
Well, I like their resilience, Nick, and the game certainly got off to a slow start for the Dolphins offensively. They made some changes in the starting lineup. 3 of their regular starters came off the bench in the game against Wilmington, but despite the fact that bench unit inherited a deficit, they responded very well. They came out, provided a spark to the Dolphins offensively especially, and at that end of the floor, they gave the team some consistency as they were able to work their way back into the game. CSI had a huge second quarter on Tuesday, and you have to think that was their highest scoring quarter of the season. I could be wrong about that, but the Dolphins did score 29 points in that second quarter earlier in the week. You know this team would love to see a bit more of that kind of offense here today against Bloomfield.
And another thing to note for that game, Joe, is the Dolphins' defense in that game, holding the Wildcats to 28.1% field goal percentage in that one. And another big number for CSI, they out-rebounded Wilmington in that game 49-27. So a plus 22 on the rebounds for the Dolphins, 24 second chance points. They're on now a one-game win streak coming into tonight's game. They're 2-2 on the season, taking on a Bloomfield team now, Joe, who is 1-3 on the year, coming off a loss against Queens College in their last one. And the Dolphins will have to contend with Tanisha Tucker, who's coming off a 27-point performance in her last game.
And the Bears are coming off 2 games against opponents that are very familiar to the Dolphins, Queens College and Mercy University. You mentioned the big numbers for Tucker so far this season. She's averaging 17 points per game, doing that with about 34% shooting. So she has put up a lot of shots, not overly efficient, hasn't taken too many shots in 4 games, only 38. You expect perhaps a score of her caliber with 17 points per game to be putting up some more shots overall, but the Bears come in as a team shooting only 37% from the field and under 20% from beyond the arc. That's an area that could certainly help the Dolphins stay close in a game like this. We've seen CSI go through some offensive droughts this season, and if they do go through such a drought, there might be a bit more margin for error in a game today against the Bloomfield team that hasn't shot the ball well so far this season.
And we look at the game that they had last season in Bloomfield, in which the Bears took a 65-57 win over the Dolphins in a game in which Joe was pretty much back and forth all the way through up until that third quarter. Bloomfield outscoring the Dolphins 19-10 in that third quarter. That propelled them to a big win over CSI. And that was a game in which CSI struggled early on to shoot. They really could not figure their way out. But the big number for CSI in that game, 22 team turnovers in that loss to the Bears. And the Bears took advantage of that with 26 points off of them.
And turnovers, you have to think, were a big reason why Nicole Sarcone decided to give the bench unit some more minutes in CSI's last game. The Dolphins piled up the turnovers 2 games ago against East Stroudsburg. Were a bit better in that department against Wilmington earlier in the week. But going back to that game against Bloomfield last year, the Dolphins at that point in the season were winless. Going into that game, Bloomfield was winless. It was the first victory of the season for the Bears when they defeated the Dolphins at home. For Bloomfield, it was their 3rd game. It was also the 3rd game of the 2022-2023 season for the Dolphins. But something that really stands out from that game, in addition to what you mentioned, the Dolphins scored 15 points or less in 3 of 4 quarters in that game. And in many games, that simply will not get it done. This team is looking to be a bit more consistent at the offensive end of the floor. They're a team that can score both in the paint and from beyond the arc. They have the capability to score it from anywhere out there on the floor, and they have the facilitators to make that happen. We saw in their last game, Jenelise Alarcon, 3 assists shy of a triple-double. You have to love the effort she gave the Dolphins on the glass. Kyra Rose, 11 rebounds. Alarcon also had 10. Both of those players had a double-double against Wilmington earlier in the week.
And they also got good contributions from Madison Haggett and Dana Phelan, both also having 11 points in that game. they were also a big part of CSI scoring those 51 bench points against Wilmington. And something to note from that game last year for the Dolphins, the issues were on the glass for CSI as well in that one. Out-rebounded by the Bears, 54-43 in that matchup. So that's something the Dolphins will have to contend with today against this Bloomfield team. Getting rebounds consistently. They got that in the game against Wilmington. Now they look to carry it over today against Bloomfield and try to get their second straight win.
And you have to be optimistic that they can get it done on the glass in today's game against the Bears. You said it. Last time they faced this Bears team on the glass, could have had some issues, but earlier in the week against Wilmington, they did a great job on the glass, and you have to like the effort that they've given over the last several games if you're Nicole Sarcone. We've seen them this season in a lot of adverse situations. Early in the season, a very close back-and-forth game. They fell behind early in their last game, had an extended layoff as well ahead of that last game, as we're having some camera issues right now, so we'll pivot back to our main feed. But nonetheless, you have to like the way the Dolphins have handled adversity each of the last 2 seasons, but specifically in that last game against Wilmington and against this Bloomfield team that comes in hungry. Games against ECC teams now in 3 straight. They'd like to pick up a win against the conference.
And you mentioned it. They've lost now 2 in a row with those previous 2 games, and they're looking to obviously get back on track and end that 2-game losing streak with the win today. You mentioned Tanisha Tucker leading the team with 17.3 points per game. Denia Darby, who had a big game last year against the Dolphins, put up 19 points in that, 17 points and 9 rebounds in the Bears win over CSI. She on the season is averaging 10 points per game and 6.3 rebounds. And Tyara Mahorn, 8.3 points per game and 7.7 rebounds. So the Bears are certainly capable of getting rebounds so far on this young season. It's all now going to realistically come down to, can they get their shots to fall in this game against CSI?
And that's a big question, Nick, but that's also a question we've asked about the Dolphins several times this year. Can the Dolphins maintain offensive consistency? We've spoken about a couple of Bears, Denia Darby averaging double figures along with Tanisha Tucker. 2 Bears also averaging over 6 rebounds per game on the season. But I said it before, their shooting numbers have not been efficient so far this year. They have won the battle on the glass by a slim margin, and I think that's something they're going to need to do today. A big question when it comes to rebounding margin for many teams is how much of that is the result of your own missed shots. Sometimes you'll see second chance points come as a result of your own misses. If you have a player who is good at attacking the offensive glass, the Dolphins certainly have one of those in Jenelise Alarcon. Sometimes you can see those rebounding numbers a bit inflated. Alarcon does a lot for this Dolphins team. The offensive glass, just one area that she makes an impact on the game. We saw her get it done scoring in CSI's last game as well, but I said it before, don't overlook her impact as a facilitator for this Dolphins team. They're going to need it today, and they've gotten it from her so far this year.
And we saw in that game against Wilmington, a lot of her assists coming inside of the paint to Kyra Rose, who had that 20-point win performance in that win over Wilmington. And overall for CSI, they were able to find their shots down, especially from the 3-point arc. And we talked about Dana Phelan and how the impact she's had so far in the season for CSI, Joe. Leads the team with 12.5 points per game. She certainly has gotten a lot more shots up this season compared to her previous seasons. And now that's a big thing for CSI going into today's game against the Bears as they look to get their second straight win.
Well, Phelan has done it all for the Dolphins this season at the offensive end. She shot it well from the outside, just shy of 39% from three-point range so far this year. She has also scored in double figures every game the Dolphins have played. The only blemish on her stat line, really, is her overall shooting percentage, only around 36%, but that's just a testament to how well she has shot it from beyond the arc. She shot it, as I said, nearly 39% from downtown. That's kept her shooting percentage up above where it would be if you're the Dolphins. You'd like to see her be a bit more efficient from inside the arc, but what the Dolphins have gotten from her has been invaluable so far this year. A player that can space the floor and give Jenelise Alarcon a bit more room to operate on that low block. It prevents her from being double-teamed and being trapped in the paint, and that has allowed her to find open teammates a bit more easily. When defenses are collapsing in on you down in the post and not allowing you to kick the ball out to the three-point line, or perhaps even allowing for that pass to be made, sometimes if you don't have the shooting that can make defenses pay, that play goes away, and they're not hesitant to trap. This year, they need to be hesitant to trap because the Dolphins from the outside have gotten good shooting from players like Dana Phelan.
And in that game last year against Bloomfield, the Dolphins only had 2 scores in double figures in that one, that being Alarcon and also Ashley Lambert. And the Dolphins, realistically, if they can have it all-around consistent game like they did against Wilmington on Tuesday, the Dolphins should be able to get their second straight win. But you mentioned about it. Consistency is the key right now for CSI when it comes down to their shooting on the season. They got a really good performance against Wilmington in that game overall, shooting around the overall in that game when it comes to the three-point arc and from inside the paint. Alicon got a lot of offensive rebounds and fighting those open marks and the three-point line from players like Phelan and Madison Haggett. Now the Dolphins try to get a duplicate in that game against Bloomfield. And we mentioned about Bloomfield's game against Queens College. Tanisha Tucker in that game, Joe, the only scorer in double figures for Bloomfield in that game. So she's going to need some scoring help from her teammates in order to help the Bears get a win.
Well, pivoting back to the Dolphins very quickly, you mentioned a couple of three-point shooters for the Dolphins that excelled in their last game against Wilmington, Madison Haggett and Dana Phelan. However, there's another Dolphin that we should be looking for to break out soon, and that's Ashley Lambert. She's been a great shooter for this Dolphins team. Each of the last 2 seasons has shot 34% from downtown each of the last 2 years. Off to just a 2 of 13 start from beyond the arc this season. We can look for her to turn it on in today's game and perhaps give the Dolphins even more outside shooting as they move forward. CSI is opening up their conference schedule very soon. They play Malloy on Wednesday, so that's going to be a very intriguing matchup to see where the Dolphins measure up in the ECC this year. And on Saturday, we're right back here at the Tank. The Dolphins, with their conference opener, or home opener, I should say, they take on a very familiar foe in CUNY rival Queens College. So we have conference basketball to look forward to here at the Tank coming up later in the week as well.
And also, Joe, let's not forget that the men's team is playing today as well as they take on Bentley University. What did you like from CSI's men's team on Tuesday also that they can carry into that game later on today around 4 o'clock?
Well, that question's easy, Nick. They played a full 2 halves in that game, and that was despite the loss of a key player in Messiah Mallory. The Dolphins came out very strong in that game, and we've seen the Dolphins build first-half leads, and then in those closing minutes late in the half, that lead has been cut down, sometimes has evaporated completely. That did not happen against Georgian Court earlier in the week. The Dolphins kept the pressure on throughout the first half at both ends of the floor. They had a very high-effort defensive performance in the first half, and that's in addition to playing solid defense. But sometimes high effort and being able to play strong defense don't always go hand in hand. Typically they do, but the Dolphins compounded their defensive effort with the extra plays, like diving on the floor after loose balls, sacrificing their body to keep a ball from going out of bounds. They really did it all at that end of the floor in the first half earlier in the week against Georgian Court. And then their shooting was there all night. And you're not always going to have a game where you shoot 40% from beyond the arc, but the Dolphins got a very strong outside shooting effort, and that certainly helped them in that game against Georgian Court.
And we saw in the second half when Mallory went down, we saw Jordan McAllister, who was our TLC player of the game for that one against Georgian Court. He really made a big impact in that one for CSI down the stretch in terms of offense. Aaron Goldstein had some big shots. Chris Clancy had some big shots as well. The Dolphins got a really good overall performance in that game against Georgian Court. They look to pick it up and keep their win streak going today against Bentley University and try to keep the momentum going into their next game.
And that's going to be a tough matchup for the Dolphins. We know how good Bentley University is, consistently near the top of the regional rankings. The Dolphins got a front row seat to watch the Falcons play here at the Tank during last year's Tournament of Heroes. The Dolphins did not face them. Today's matchup, the first ever meeting between the College of Staten Island and Bentley University. The Dolphins in their last game, as I mentioned, shot it very well. 51% from the field and just shy of 41% from beyond the arc. You're not going to get that every game, but it certainly wouldn't hurt on a day like today. Also, the Dolphins in their last game only turned the ball over 12 times while forcing 19 turnovers, winning the turnover battle. Not easy to do against the Falcons, but that is going to be key today. The Dolphins did lose the rebounding battle by a couple against Georgian Court, 33-31, a negligible difference in the rebounding margin. But if they don't have Messiah Mallory today, the work they do on the glass will be key. We don't know if Messiah is active. He did not return after leaving the game injured on Tuesday. We hope he's okay. The Dolphins certainly hope to have him back soon, if not for today's game.
And it'll be interesting to see who TJ Tibbs puts in the starting five to try to figure out the rebounding issues that they will have potentially if Mallory is not able to go today. But shifting back now to our game here against Bloomfield College, Dolphins looking to get their second straight win, as I mentioned. And for CSI, a game in which they would like to get some payback from last year's matchup against Bloomfield. We talked about Darby Denaya's performance in that game. Saja Alston also had a pretty big impact for the Bears in that one. 11 points, 10 rebounds. She is in the starting five for the Bears today, and as well as Tanisha Tucker, who's coming off that 27-point performance. The Dolphins overall, Joe, it looks like to be, if they want to get another win here today at CSI, they're going to need to try to not only contain Tucker's shooting ability, but they're going to need to get some big rebounds, especially against Alston, who really killed them last season in their matchup against the Bears.
Well, we said it already. The one area where the Bears have done well this season is on the glass. How much of that is the result of missed shots? Tough to gauge without going back and watching their game film. But you said it already, Nick. Slowing down Tucker is a great place to start if you're the Dolphins. The good news for CSI is that as a team, the Bears' range so far this season hasn't extended outside behind the three-point line. You can really key in on stopping shots around the basket. You can afford to give up an open three here and there. Obviously, you don't want to allow a team some shoot-around jump shots throughout the game, but perhaps if you make some mistakes defensively or choose strategically to allow the Bears to put up threes, you might be in okay shape. I'll be curious to see how aggressively the Dolphins look to close out on three-point shooters. Throughout this season, CSI has employed a zone at most times defensively, a 2-3 zone we've seen them in, specifically in that last game against Wilmington, only the second CSI game that I've called this season for the women. Hard to believe, but the Dolphins will have an opportunity in that zone defense to create some turnovers, and that's going to be key in this game as well. If they don't allow the Bears to make entry passes and get quality chances around the basket, oftentimes coming with that are the turnovers you force on those attempted entry passes and perhaps even some kickouts. If the Bears aren't quick moving the ball and telegraph passes, this Dolphins team can certainly capitalize in the passing lanes. We've seen them do that in the past, an opportunity to do so yet again here today.
And I think overall for the Dolphins, when it comes down to it, the Bears struggled in that game shooting-wise, 29.7 field goal percentage, 29% from the three-point line in that game against Queens College. So the Dolphins are able to do what they did against Wilmington on Tuesday, Joe. Defensively, they have a good chance today to get another win against Bloomfield, get their first win against the Bears in their team's history. But for now, we're going to step aside and take a little break. National Anthem and lineups will be introduced in just a little bit, and I will bring you those starting lineups when we come back here from the tank between Bloomfield College Bears and the CSI Dolphins.
Chi Aesthetics Med Spa and Wellness Center. Our approach to beauty and wellness begins with a holistic plan tailored to the unique needs of our patients. When we consult with patients, we let them tell us what their problem is. We don't tell them what the issue is. We find out what they're looking for, and we discuss, and then we give them options. If you're looking to achieve radiant skin, you've come to the right place. We offer hydrofacials, microneedling, Opus Plasma, peels, facial and laser treatments, laser hair removal, body sculpting, fat freezing, hormone replacement therapy, Botox, IV drip therapy, and more. We are open Monday through Saturday and are located at 720 Forest Avenue, Staten Island, New York, 10310. We hope to see you soon. Visit our website at www.chiaesthetics.com for more information.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back here from the tank between today's matchup of the Bears and the Dolphins. Starting lineups are being introduced as we speak, and I will bring you those starting lineups as they are presented by Chi Aesthetics. For the Bloomfield College Bears, Anisha Abel, Jasmine McDuffie, Cameron Babs, Saja Alston, and Tanisha Tucker. We talked about Alston and Tucker's impact so far overall on the season. Also had a big game for Bloomfield their last time out against the Dolphins. Tucker coming off that 27-point performance in the Bears' last game against Queens College. For the Dolphins, it will be Noemia Masinge, Jenelise Alarcon, Ashley Lambert, Kaya Johnson, and Dana Phelan. Dolphins on the season 2-2, coming off that win over Wilmington on Tuesday. Bears coming off the loss and their last time out against Queens College. Dolphins are going to go to 3-2 on the season. Bears looking to get back on track and go to 2-3. So the Dolphins in their game on Tuesday go with a different lineup. Phelan, the only starter from that game on Tuesday, that is once again in the starting lineup for the Dolphins today against the Bears. And it's the lineup that we are normally used to for CSI getting the start today, with Masinge, Alarcon, Lambert, and Johnson alongside Phelan. And we are about to tip off here at CSI. Tip is underway. The Dolphins win the tip. This is Kaya Johnson with the ball. She'll start it off for CSI. Kicks it out to Phelan at the three-point line. Now gives it back to Johnson. Johnson back to Phelan. Phelan for three. Splash! Dana Phelan shoots the three, and the Dolphins on their first shot attempt go up 3-0 early on. Spoke about Phelan's impact so far on the season. Leads the Dolphins in points per game with 12.5. Gets a nice shot right there. Here's Abel on the shot, misses, and the ball is rebounded by Alarcon. Masinge was the first one to come down with it, and Alarcon scooped it up. Lambert now shoots for three. That one's off the mark. Phelan trying to get the offensive rebound. I'll show forced the rebound for CSI, as that went off of Tanisha Tucker's hand. Lambert will inbound the ball. Inbounds it to Alarcon. Now she gives it up to Johnson. And a little bit of a miscommunication right there from CSI, as it looked like Johnson maybe thought that maybe Phelan was going to go to the three-point line over there, but turnover nonetheless for CSI. And that's something that Joe and I spoke about in the pregame. The Dolphins had 22 turnovers in that loss to the Bears last season. They will look to rectify that today and avoid it again. Here's a three-point opportunity for Babs, and it goes right into the rim. So that's going to be a dead ball rebound. And there's trying to find someone to get the ball unstuck from the rim. Not often do you see that happen, as our floor sweeper was able to knock it off the rim. Possession will stay with the Bears, so it will be Tucker who will inbound it. She'll kick it out to the outside to Alston. Down low, that is McDuffie. She kicks it out. This is a three-point shot for Tucker. No good, and rebounded by Johnson. Johnson pushes up the court, now gives it up to Alarcon. Alarcon to Phelan for three. Off the mark, offensive rebound from Masinge. She kicks it to Phelan. Phelan keeps the ball alive and now turns it over. So now here comes the Bears on offense. This is Alston with the ball. She kicks it out to Tucker. Tucker all the way out to Babs. Babs now back to Alston. And a foul is called on the court. Foul's going to be on Alarcon. That's going to be her first. So Alarcon called for an early foul there. And immediately off the inbound, the shot is missed by Abel. The offensive rebound was there, and they're going to call a jump ball. And the possession arrow was with the Dolphins, so it'll be CSI ball. Tucker did come down with the rebound. The Dolphins were able to force the jump ball there and force the turnover. So now here's CSI with it. Johnson now with the ball, kicks it out to Phelan. Phelan thought about the three. Cuts it inside, puts up the two. It's off the mark, and it's rebounded by the Bears and rebounded by number 12, Anisha Abel. Alston thought about a pass, now shoots for three. Off the mark and rebounded by Johnson. Ball's still loose, and Johnson comes down with it. Here is Lambert now trying to push it up the court and makes the two. Ashley Lambert knocks down the layup right there off the pass from Johnson as the Dolphins get a quick fast break point and go off 5-0. Lambert was the Dolphins' second leading scorer in the game last year against Bloomfield. 11 points and led the team with 7 rebounds. Slow start for Bloomfield offensively. Here's a shot from Babs, and it goes in. So Cameron Babs has the first points for Bloomfield in this one. They now trail at 5-2. Low pass inside to Alarcon. No foul is called, and is rebounded by Abel. Also looking for somewhere to go. She'll now kick it back out to Babs. This one now to Tucker. Inside to Abel. This is a three-point shot from McDuffie. It's off the mark and rebounded by Masinge. Johnson leading the Dolphins up the court. Kicks it out to the arc. This is Phelan for three. Splash! Dana Phelan with another three-pointer here early in the first quarter. 6 early points for her, and CSI's got an 8-2 lead. Abel kicks it out to Babs. This is now Tucker. Tucker will shoot for three. That one's off the mark. Ball still loose, and it's going to go out on the Dolphins. As we'll have our first substitution of the game, and it actually will be a timeout called by the Bears. So with that, we'll take a quick commercial break here at the Tank. The Dolphins with an early 8-2 lead off of 2 made threes from Dana Phelan.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, got 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You can vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials. Check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
And we're back here at the Tank. Bears trailing the Dolphins 8-2 in a game in which so far we're seeing a rough start for Bloomfield shooting-wise. 1 of 8 to start the game. Dolphins shooting 3 of 7 so far. 2 of those made field goals were three-pointers made by Dana Phelan, who leads the Dolphins early on with 6 points. So a couple substitutions coming in for the Bears. Here's one of them as Kayla Skies with the ball. She has the ball once again. Gives it up to Tucker. Tucker now gives it out to McDuffie. McDuffie puts it up. No good. Ball still loose. And the call is going to be off of Alarcon. So we'll remain in possession of Bloomfield here. As the inbound goes to Alston. Alston has the ball once again, looking for somewhere to go. Gives it up to Tucker. Tucker inside, and it's a loose ball, and Mahorn turns it over to Phelan. Phelan passes it inside. Here's a nice pass from Masinga to Alarcon, and she's going to go to the free throw line.
Bears fouls on number 21, Tiara Mahorn. It's her first, team's first.
So Tiara Mahorn was called for the foul there. As Alarcon makes her first free throw. Alarcon coming off a near triple-double in her last game. As she's able to knock down both. Bears looking for any offense right now. Here's the jump shot from Mahorn. No good, and rebounded by Masinga. Good pass right there from Johnson. Finds Alarcon. Good court vision right there from Kaya Johnson, finding the cutting Jenalise Alarcon, and the Dolphins take an early 12-2 lead. How about this start from CSI offensively? Three-point shot right there is off the mark from Skies. Offensive rebound from Tucker, and she's going to get fouled on the play. And that's something to note. That's going to be Alarcon's second foul. And she'll have to come out of the game early on. So now Kyra Rose now will come into the game, and she's coming off a monster performance against Wilmington on Tuesday. 20 points and 11 rebounds off the bench for Kyra. She, along with Alarcon, were the two players of the game for CSI. Alston looking to go somewhere with the ball, gives it up to Skies. This one now out to Tucker. Here's Mahorn, goes up with the basket, and a late whistle and foul is called on Masinga.
CSI fouls on number 3, Nohemia Masinga. That's her first, team's third.
So Nohemia Masinga is called for the foul, her first. Third team foul now for CSI, and now free throws coming up for Tiara Mahorn. And Mahorn is not able to make the first one. Mahorn has been a good impactful player for the Bears so far on the season. Comes off the bench in this one. And it goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Substitution. Denia Darby now comes in for the Bears. Talked about Darby on the season, 10 points per game, 6.3 rebounds. Was big in last year's win for Bloomfield. Here's Rose to the basket, and jump ball is called. And that will be a turnover for CSI. Its possession arrow was in the way of the Bears. So Bears will get the ball back, trailing 12-3 with about 4:16 to go in this first quarter. Shot from Darby is off the mark. Offensive rebound from Mahorn, and she's able to get it through. Mahorn knocks down the 2 to make it 12-5. This is Lambert for 3. Off the mark. Offensive rebound from Rose, and she banks it in. Kyra Rose with a nice offensive rebound and putback. So a lot of that on Tuesday against Wilmington, and she puts the Dolphins back up 9. This is Darby on the pump fake and puts it in. Nice post move right there from Denia Darby. 14-7 Dolphins. Phelan thought about the 3. Cuts it into Masinga. Masinga with a nice pump fake. Goes up with the layup, but is blocked by Tucker, and it's rebounded right there by Mahorn. Almost a missed pass right there from Tucker to Mahorn, and there is now a missed pass as Mahorn threw it away, trying to get it to Alston. Elizabeth Alfaro checks in for the first time for CSI. Dolphins with an early 14-7 lead here. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. This is Johnson with the ball. Kicks it out to Masinga. Now to LaFaro. LaFaro thought about going into Phelan. Lost the ball and gives it to her now. This is now Johnson with it. Johnson cuts to the basket, puts up the 2. No good. Ball still loose. And it's rebounded by Kyra Rose. Good job by Kyra Rose to track that one down. LaFaro now has the ball out to Rose, but it goes right off of her hand, and it's a turnover for CSI.
Into the game for the Bears, number 4, Ahmed Joel.
So a chance for CSI right there to get a second chance point. But the turnover now gives the Bears back the ball. They trail by 7 here with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Babs kicks it out. This is a 3 for Skies. No good, and rebounded by LaFaro. LaFaro looks to slow it up and look for some help. Johnson now has the ball. Back to LaFaro. LaFaro wide open for 3. It's good! Lizzie LaFaro from downtown. Another 3 for the Dolphins. And they go back up 10 and 17-7. LaFaro left wide open at the three-point arc. And a great start for CSI.
Into the game for the Bears, number 11, Erica Mercedes. To replace number 1, Kayla Sykes.
Had to fix our graphic for a second. As that's a turnover right there for the Bears.
Jump ball possession to the Dolphins.
So the jump ball goes in the possession of CSI. 1:45 to go. 17-7 lead for CSI. This is Johnson bringing the ball up for the Dolphins. Gives it out to Phelan. Phelan kicks it back into Masinga, but it's a turnover. Darby tries to kick it inside, but a good steal from Johnson. Dolphins have the numbers. Here's Masinga. Nice pump fake, and gets the 2. Good presence from Masinga. She heard the footsteps from behind her. Got the pump fake and gets the 2, and the Dolphins now extend their lead to 12. And there's another turnover forced by CSI. It's going to be Phelan now. She has Rose with her. Rose goes inside. And it's going to be a loose ball, and it's going to be a turnover for CSI. So the Dolphins were looking for some fast break points there, but they were not able to score on that possession. As Brianna Moore checked in for the Dolphins. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. 19-7 lead for the Dolphins. Tucker kicks it out. This is Chol now with the ball. Back to Tucker for 3. That one's off the mark. Originally was rebounded by the Bears, and they will still have it. It's in possession of Babs. This is Tucker now once again with the ball. She kicks it out, but a bad pass leads to another turnover forced by the Dolphins. And it's been an uneventful first quarter for the Bloomfield Bears. Turnovers and bad shooting have so far cost them in this first quarter. The Dolphins will hold for the final possession. Johnson will cut to the basket, goes up for the 2, and she will get fouled on the play.
There's fouls on number 4, Ahmed Joel. That's her first, team second. Shooting 2, Kaya Johnson.
Chol was the one that was called for the foul, so it will be Kaya Johnson going to the free throw line. And she knocks down the first free throw. Johnson knocks down both free throws. Dolphins will extend their lead to 14. 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Bears will have a chance at the final possession. This is Mahorn. Cuts inside and gets the 2. 2 seconds left. Johnson has the ball. Has a chance to put up the final shot. But time expires here in the first quarter. A very strong start for the Dolphins offensively as they shoot 50% from the floor in that first quarter. We'll head to the second quarter here at the Tank. The Dolphins lead the Bears 21-9.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
We're back here at the Tank. Dolphins lead the Bears 21-9. For the moment, we're going to have an audio-only broadcast as we are having to tend to a camera issue. So I'll be right back on the call. For now, here's an audio-only of the Bears and the Dolphins.
Returning for the Bears, number 14, Jasmine McDuffie, and number 1, Kayla Sykes.
I am back now here for the call of the Bears and the Dolphins.
2 shots for Sykes.
Sykes will go over the line for 2 free throws as the foul was called on Brianna Moore. Strong start of the second quarter now for CSI after a really good first quarter for the Dolphins. Free throws now make it 26-10 lead for CSI. Dolphins were able to put up 21 points in their last time, or in the first quarter, I should say. Here's Moore, gives it up to Rose. Now to Johnson. And 3-second violation was called on the Dolphins. This is also now with the ball out to Mercedes, and Mercedes traveled. So Masenge checks back in for the Dolphins. Dolphins in this first half shooting 9 of 18 from the field. Nicole Sarcone, you've got to love the start the Dolphins have had offensively, as there's a foul called on the Bears. Lambert went down to the court. Isha Abel was called for the foul. Johnson checks out, and Dana Phelan will check back in. Bears in that first quarter shot 4-17. So far in the second quarter, 0 for 3. So the Bears want to get back into this game. They're going to need to start getting some shots down. Good pass from Phelan out to Masinga. Masinga to Lambert for 3. Rolls in and out of the rim, and it's rebounded on the play by Anisha Abel. Also looking for somewhere to go. Gives it out to Mercedes. This one now to Skies. Alston inside, and looked to be a double dribble on Jasmine McDuffie. So another turnover there for the Bears. And turnovers so far have been a problem for the Bears in this first half. Singay looking for somewhere to go. Gives it out to LaFaro. Down low to Rose. Rose puts it up. And maybe looked to be blocked on the play from McDuffie. Here comes Mercedes on the fast break. And LaFaro will be called for a blocking foul. Dolphins certainly thought that was going to be a charge on Mercedes, but the call was against LaFaro. So it'll be Erica Mercedes at the line shooting 2. Mentioned the turnovers, the Bears now with 10 team turnovers in this first half. As Mercedes misses the first free throw, and when you have the same amount of turnovers as you have points, that just shows how slow of a start it's been for Bloomfield. And they would really need some points here on this possession. Mercedes is able to at least knock down one of the free throws, make it 26-11. Darby and Babs check back into the game for the Bears as LaFaro breaks it up for the Dolphins. She now kicks it out to Lambert. Lambert out to Phelan. Phelan thought about the 3. Now will put up the 3, and it's off the mark and rebounded on the play by Babs. This is Skies for 3. Another missed 3 for Bloomfield. Rebounded is going to go to Skies. She now goes up for the 2, and she's fouled on the play by Rose. Masinge tried to keep the ball in bounds. She did, but it went right to Skies, and Sky was able to go to the free throw line now. As we're going to have a media timeout. So we'll have a media timeout. We'll come back right from this commercial break. Dolphins lead the Bears 26-11.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Back at the tank here. 6:03 to go in this first half. The Dolphins lead the Bears 26-11. And Kayla Skies will go to the free throw line for Bloomfield. And she knocks down the first free throw. Bears in this first half shooting 19% from the field. This will be their 7th and 8th free throws of this first half. Skies goes 1 for 2, and it's rebounded by Alarcon. LaFaro to Lambert. Lambert back to LaFaro. Back to Lambert. Back to LaFaro. Now inside to Alarcon. Alarcon puts up the mid-range jumper. No good. Ball's loose, and Masinga comes down with it. Second chance opportunity here for the Dolphins. Alarcon inside to Masinga. Masinga kicks it out to Lambert for 3. It's good! They're going to rule that a long-range 2, so Lambert knocks down the 2 and makes it 28-12. What was on the line as she went down with it. But the Dolphins do extend their lead to 16. Here's Skies now with the ball, looking for some help. Passes it inside to McDuffie, and McDuffie is not able to get the 2. Rebounded by Lambert. Here's now LaFaro. Dolphins slow it down a little bit. Long-range pass to Phelan. She kicks it inside to Masinga. Masinga to Alarcon. Alarcon puts up the 2 and puts it in. Good pass from Masinga down low to find Alarcon. She lost the ball in transition, but was able to still get the points there, and the Dolphins extend their lead to 18. This is a three-pointer from McDuffie. No good. Offensive rebound goes in, as that one was made by Anisha Abel. So a big second chance points right there for the Bears. They try to get back into this game. Here's now Alarcon. Gives it up to LaFaro at the three-point arc. She gives it right back to Alarcon. Alarcon to Phelan. Phelan with the long-range 3. Off the mark and rebounded by Abel. This is Babs. Looking for somewhere to go. And a travel is called on the Bears. Supposed to be the travel was on McDuffie.
Turning for the Bears, number 15, Tanisha Tucker, and number 21, Tiara Mahorn.
Masinga kicks it in to Alarcon. Alarcon looking for somewhere to go. Puts up the 2. And it looks to be the foul was before the jump shot, so no shooting foul there for Alarcon.
That's her second foul, team second.
So a foul on Mahorn. Her second. As Lambert will inbound it. She'll inbound it to Alarcon. Now out to Johnson. Now back to Lambert. Lambert tries to get it to Alarcon, but goes over her head and out of bounds, and it's a turnover right there for CSI. With the Dolphins' 8th turnover of this first half. Tucker will bring it up for the Bears. This is a jump shot, a long 2 from Mahorn. Misses. Offensive rebounded by Mahorn. She misses, and it was Tucker that will get the offensive rebound and get the and 1.
CSI fouls on number 3, Nohimia Mosenge. That's her second foul. Team's fourth.
So it is going to be Tanisha Tucker going to the line for 2. Or excuse me, for 1, as obviously was an and 1. So Tucker will go to the line for 1 free throw. As Shakira Stackhouse will check in for the first time today for the Dolphins.
Into the game for the Dolphins, number 33, Shakira Stackhouse.
Tanisha Tucker gets her first points of the game. Looks to add on here with this 1 free throw. And she does. And the Dolphins' lead has now been cut down to 13. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first half, and it's another turnover for the Dolphins. So the Dolphins, with another turnover right there, their second straight turnover. And a chance for the Bears to make this potentially a 10-point game with a three. This is Skies on the jumper, misses. Rebounded by Alarcon, and she is pushed hard to the ground. Alarcon took a hard foul on that one. Jania Darby was called for the foul on that one. So Nia Darby will check out. Dolphins, with 3 minutes left, still have a 13-point lead. But they've had a couple of empty possessions their last couple of possessions, so they would like to extend this lead going into halftime. Johnson to Lambert. Lambert inside to Alarcon. Alarcon to Stackhouse, and Stackhouse just misses it and rebounded by Mahorn. Here's the miss right there from Chol and rebounded by Stackhouse. And if you're Stackhouse, that's one. Do you want to get back? A wide open look under the rim. Phelan now for three. That one is good. Dana Phelan with another three-pointer here in the first half. Dolphins extend their lead to 16. This is now Tucker, a long-range three. Could not answer back. Rebound is loose. And we'll stay, or correction, will be going for the Dolphins. Madison Haggett now checks in for the Dolphins. We saw Haggett with 11 points in the Dolphins' last game against Wilmington on Tuesday. Johnson inside to Stackhouse. This is to Haggett. Haggett for three. Off the mark. Loose ball. Rebounded by Phelan. And she'll be fouled in the process and look to be a shooting foul. Fouls on the court, so no shooting foul for Phelan. As Johnson will inbound it. Both teams now at 4 fouls, so both just a foul away from being in the bonus. Tyra Smith checks in as Stackhouse goes up with it and is fouled in the process. So Stackhouse will go to the free throw line. The foul is going to be on Mahorn. And Tierra Mahorn now with 3 first-half fouls. As Stackhouse misses the first. Second one made from Stackhouse. Dolphins extend their lead to 17. Rose checks in for the Dolphins, replacing Alarcon. Dolphins shot 50% in the first half, shooting 35% here in the second quarter. As I said first half, but I meant first quarter. As this will be Tucker now with the ball. She goes up with the layup, and she is fouled in the process. Stackhouse will be called for the foul. At halftime, we'll be joined by women's head coach Nicole Sarcone. For me, the first time I will be conducting an interview here at CSI, so we'll see how that one goes as the first free throw is down for Tucker. We'll see what Nicole Sarcone has to say about her team's performance here in the first half. As both free throws were made from Tucker, and it's now a 15-point game. Haggett thought about the three. Gives it up to Johnson. Back to Haggett. Haggett kicks it out to Phelan. Phelan with another three off the mark and rebounded by Tucker. Tucker brings it up the court, goes up with the two, and makes it. So Tucker did not have any points coming into the quarter, but has now got 7 in this quarter. And now cuts the lead now to 13. It's 34-21. Phelan inside to Rose. Rose to Stackhouse. Blocked away from Tucker. Dolphins get a second chance. This is Kaya Johnson, and she knocks down the long-range 2. Kaya Johnson on the second chance point from the Dolphins, and they extend the lead to 15. Under 40 seconds to go in the first half. This is Smith out to Tucker. Tucker with the long-range 2. Off the mark, rebounded by Stackhouse. Now the Dolphins will push. This is Johnson out to Haggett. Haggett trying to save it. She does save it to Phelan, and missed. Offensive rebound from Stackhouse. No good. Ball still loose, and it's going to go to the Bears. 17.9 to go in this first half. A 15-point lead for the Dolphins. Bears will look to end this first half on a high note. Smith brings it up. Misses right there is from Abel. Ball is loose, and it's a jump ball with a second left on the game clock. So with 1 second left, the Bears will have a chance to get a quick catch and shoot. Alston will inbound it. This is to Chol, and Chol did not put up the jump shot, and that's going to end this first half. So the Bears were not able to get the final shot of this first half, and they will go into the halftime trailing 36-21. For CSI, been a strong start offensively. They'll look to keep it going in that second half with this 15-point lead. But for now, we'll take a quick, short commercial break. I will be joined by CSI women's head coach Nicole Sarcone as her team leads this one 36-21 going into the second half.
She Aesthetics Med Spa and Wellness Center. Our approach to beauty and wellness begins with a holistic plan tailored to the unique needs of our patients. When we consult with patients, we let them tell us what their problem is. We don't tell them what the issue is. We find out what they're looking for, and we discuss, and then we give them options. If you're looking to achieve radiant skin, you've come to the right place. We offer hydrofacials, microneedling, Opus Plasma, peels, facial and laser treatments, laser hair removal, body sculpting, fat freezing, hormone replacement therapy, Botox, IV drip therapy, and more. We are open Monday through Saturday and are located at 720 Forest Avenue, Staten Island, New York, 10310. We hope to see you soon. Visit our website at www.sheaesthetics.com for more information.
And we are back here at the Tank for the halftime report, as this is CSI women's basketball head coach Nicole Sarcone. And Nicole, first half went pretty well for the Dolphins defensively, holding the Bloomfield Bears to 21% field goal percentage. What did you like from your team's performance in that first half defensively, and how can you carry it over to the second half?
I think they did a great job understanding where the scorers were. When we were in our zone, we knew where they were at all times on the perimeter. They scored us a little too much in the paint, so we got to adjust with that. I think everyone did a great job communicating and pushing each other off into areas and kind of spreading our defense out.
Now, for offensively, you saw some good three-point shooting from Dana Phelan to note of, and we saw that on Tuesday against Wilmington. The Dolphins were able to get some really good shooting overall from your performance. A lineup change in that game. Going back to kind of the lineup that we usually see for CSI in these games, what did you like from your starting five going into that first half? The Dolphins in the first quarter were shooting 50%. What did you like from that first quarter, and what can they do in the second half to try to keep the momentum going into the second half to get the win?
Yeah, I think not just the first five, but everybody that went in, more than just shooting, they found each other really well. They were moving the ball and finding shooters well, finding scorers well, just finding each other, and that's something we've been missing a little bit. So that and then running. Pitching the ball ahead, looking to run is something we've been working on, and I think they did it consistently across the board. So we got to keep running. We got to keep finding each other and making them play on the defensive end and not just shoot early threes, but work for good threes where we create and kick out.
Consistency will definitely be the key for the Dolphins as they go into the second half with a 36-21 lead. For now, we will step aside for our TLC Physical Therapy halftime report. This has been Nicole Sarcone, CSI Women's Basketball Head Coach. I am Nicholas Pavona. We'll be right back from these commercial breaks. Dolphins lead the Bears 36-21.
Basketball has a special place in my heart because of the experiences it has given me and the purpose I have found along the way. Basketball taught me that success doesn't require perfection. Rather, I should pursue excellence in everything that I do. Basketball has led me on a journey where I've accumulated numerous life lessons to value relationships, practice integrity, and demonstrate commitment. I've learned to welcome mistakes and not only accept adversity, but embrace it. It has the unique effect of eliciting talents in someone which would have otherwise lain dormant. It is something that builds character, an element that is essential to a player's growth and development. You sometimes wonder if all the mornings and late nights are really worth it. Then you look to your left and right, and you see your teammates beside you, and you know you're not alone. And it's comforting. When you're part of a team, there's a special joy in playing for something bigger than yourself. Basketball taught me how to embrace a community. Like music, it brings people together. When you make contributions to your team, your program, it's a rewarding feeling knowing the impact you have on the larger community when you observe how much it inspires the people around you.
Dear basketball, I was only a few months old when I took my first photograph with a ball on my lap. From that moment on, you never left me. Growing up in a small village in upstate New York, 2 miles from the Canadian border, you were my constant go-to for fun and entertainment. No matter if there was 3 feet of snow or the sun was scorching hot, I always found a way to be with you as you brought me so much joy. As a child, you always had a way of bringing the neighborhood kids together. Every day we would find our way to the circular paved patio I had in my yard with an 8-foot rim nailed to a tree. It wasn't the classiest court to play on, but it worked for us, and it's where my passion for you began. Little did I know you would take my friends and family on a journey of a lifetime. It was from you where I learned to be brave, courageous, and adventurous, that if I stuck with it through my moments of failure, disappointment, and heartache, I could achieve anything I put my mind to. Like attending Duke University on a full scholarship where I was able to surround myself in greatness both in the classroom and on the court. It is here where I truly learned how to step out of my comfort zone and discover what I was made of, refusing to let my insecurities and fears hold me back. Gail Gueston-Course and her incredible staff, along with my teammates, gave me a family away from home that I could have never dreamt of as a little girl. The ACC championships, the NCAA tournaments, including the national championship game in 1999, cannot match the friendships and relationships I developed because of basketball. See, I find it to be the relationships that we develop through our sports participation that are in fact the most meaningful and memorable. Basketball, you have given me a life team that I can never repay you for. You have supplied me with a platform that allows me to give back, to inspire, motivate, and encourage individuals to go after their passions, to push through their failures and be fearless in stepping out of their comfort zones. It was because of you I was able to start my first company with co-founder Colleen Healy from UConn Women's Basketball called Orca Leadership. Orca standing for opportunity, resilience, contribution, and accountability. All 4 pillars we learned from playing your game. Even further, we were able to start up our own academy called Beyond the Game Academy, helping athletes across the country reach their dreams. I could have never imagined this life, and I have you to thank. Thank you, basketball.
The opportunities that basketball provided for me has been crazy. Being able to travel all over the world, to even a different country, just being able to meet so many different people and build so many different relationships has definitely just opened so many doors for me.
Opportunities that basketball has provided me, just to meet a lot of people, travel a lot of places, around the world and also around the country. It's just, a great experience to make me a more well-rounded person.
Just being able to learn from my teammates, learning really what sacrifice is about, learning about hard work, just being a part of a team, having that support group, having somebody that's there to support you no matter what. It's been great.
Basketball has given me a lot of opportunities. Obviously, just traveling and coming here. This is special, and we went to Spain over the summer, and I'd never been out the country before that, so it was special, and obviously just giving me a free education. I mean, it's a big thing, and I'm glad basketball has been able to do it for me.
It's provided a lot of opportunities, provided me to get a college degree, travel places that I never thought I would travel to, and just meet new people.
I'd say basketball has just provided me with a variety of opportunities. I mean, just the connections that I made in the Purdue community, and kind of just growing as a player and as a person. I'm definitely blessed and grateful to have all these opportunities.
Dear basketball, since I was a kid, you have always been a way for me to clear my mind of everything going on in life and just have fun playing and competing. You led me to CNU, where I've become a part of a close-knit basketball family. You've let me build relationships with my brothers that not many people get to experience, and these relationships have been able to grow and will certainly last a lifetime. You have taught me that this sport is more than getting the best stats or winning the most games, but it's about enjoying the experience, making a difference in the community, and always competing at my highest level. Through great leadership from Coach K and other coaches, you have given me top-of-the-line resources to learn not only about the game, but about life and being a man of integrity and humility. I would not be the person I am today if it wasn't for you, and I am forever grateful for the lessons you have taught me and the memories that I will have for the rest of my life.
College basketball has provided me with a platform to not only have fun on the court and be around some amazing teammates, but also kind of supplement academics with just another side of the Notre Dame experience, because sports are such an important part of the tradition there, and being a part of the Notre Dame sports tradition in any way is just an incredible honor. It's amazing. I mean, just being here all week, there's just so much recognition for such an amazing sport and such amazing teams that are here, and to be a part of that in any small way is just incredible, and I'm so lucky to be here. Just the value of determination, perseverance, and self-confidence in getting where you want to go in life. I've definitely learned a lot being around a team of such strong, inspiring women, and I can only hope to emulate their talent on the basketball court in other parts of my life. I'm a computer science major in Notre Dame's College of Engineering, and I was really drawn to it because I've always kind of loved math and science, and it's a really fun way to apply problem-solving skills to different situations, especially in today's day and age where technology is becoming such an integral part of society. Just figuring out different ways I can contribute to that, I'm really excited to see where it'll take me in the future. I mean, I think just the general mindset of approaching something from how can I solve this in not only the best way but the most efficient way, because there's a big emphasis on that in a lot of my classes, and just kind of seeing how the sports world and the academic world can overlap, even with just the GPS things that we wear during practice to keep track of how hard we're working. Just the technology behind that is super interesting to me also. When I first came to campus, I was hoping to get involved in the women's basketball program in some way, and I applied to be a manager, and I thought that would be an awesome opportunity, super excited. And then I got an email about walk-on tryouts. I'm like, oh, this would be a great way to go meet other girls, to play pickup with. I had no idea it would lead to any of this, trust me, but I'm so glad it has. And after that, that's how I met some of the women's basketball people and how I got connected to be a team manager for the program. So I started doing that first semester of my freshman year, and then, as you probably know the story, last year with the 4 ACL tears, they just needed another practice player kind of thing. So I turned from a manager to a walk-on and got the opportunity to go in some games, just help the team out any way I could, and that was an incredible ride, obviously ending with the championship last season, which was amazing. And then same thing this year, kind of just some injuries happened and they needed someone to step up. So, I mean, I'm here to be whatever they need me to be, and I'm so blessed to be a part of this program in any way. Kind of going between the manager and walk-on role, I mean, it is a different type of thing I'm doing, but it's still being around the same girls every day and just being around the team. And for me, that was such a valuable thing. And again, I guess my passion for basketball and how much I just love the sport kind of made that seem easy. Not really something I thought about a ton, just because every day it wasn't about what I could do. It was just about kind of getting out and playing the game I love every day and just being around it in any way.
Basketball has given me everything in my life. It's given me a chance to get a college education. It gives my families to take trips to these cool tournaments we go to, and most importantly, my relationships with the people I've met throughout the years, and Coach Izzo down to my junior high coach. It's provided me with great relationships with teammates and guys that I'll be talking to for the rest of my life.
Basketball has provided me with just obviously the education portion of it is huge, and also just the relationships I was able to build with my teammates, guys on different teams that go to my school, like the football team and the soccer team. There's also just the relationships that I'm able to build outside of, athletics, and I believe that's huge, just being able to go and meet new people, especially at a big university like Ohio State, and just kind of get your network around and just see the way different people think and react to things.
I'd say basketball provided me with, the opportunity just to be around good people and meet people that can help me in life and give me a free education and be able to somewhat set myself up for a better life.
It has offered me opportunity to go to college, to leave my hometown, travel the world, build outstanding relationships and friendships. I'm forever grateful and a lot of gratitude to the game of basketball and to God for putting the basketball in my hands. So basketball has really blessed me a lot.
And we're back for the second half here at the Tank. Nicholas Pavona joining you once again as the Dolphins lead this one 36-21. A very good start for the Dolphins in that first quarter. We're able to shoot 50% from the field. Went down a little bit in the second half, shooting 33%, but the Dolphins overall defensively was a huge reason why they have this lead going into the second half. Overall for the game for Bloomfield, in that first quarter, they shot 23% and then 18% in the second quarter. So the Dolphins defensively have done a great job against this Bloomfield team from scoring. We saw Tanisha Tucker late in that first half able to rally off 7 points and get her team to within 15. And the Bears will look for some offensive spark in this second half as they look to try to come back and avoid a third straight loss. For the Dolphins, their leading scorers were both Dana Phelan and Ashley Lambert. They both have 9 points in that first half. And the Dolphins were also able to get some good contributions around. Noemi Masinga had 5 rebounds. Alacon has 6 points. We saw LaFar come off the bench and make a nice impact. And now the Dolphins will get the ball here in the second half with this 15-point lead. So Phelan will inbound it to Johnson. Lambert now kicks it out to Alarcon. This is back to Johnson, now to Masinga. Phelan to Johnson to Lambert. Inside to Alarcon. To Johnson for the long range two. Off the mark. Offensive rebound by Phelan. Good pass to Lambert. And the Dolphins extend their lead. A good offensive rebound right there from Dana Phelan, and Lambert was right there for the picking and able to get that easy 2 points to give her team a 17-point lead. This is now Babs. She kicks it to Abel. This is now Alston. Alston with the long range two. That one is off the mark. Offensive rebounded right there is made by Babs. So Babs gets the offensive rebound and the putback. Puts it back to within 15. Alarcon to Johnson. Johnson thought about the long range two, and her pass got deflected out of bounds as she was going to Phelan. Lambert now with the ball, gives it out to Johnson. Johnson outside of Lambert. Lambert will get the long range two. A good first half for Lambert, and now a strong second half for her, as she's gotten the Dolphins back up 17, as she has their first 4 points. Now leads the team with 13 in this one. Tucker to Alston. Alston thought about the three. Now we'll reset. Kicks it out to Babs. Babs puts it up. No good. Offensive rebound from Abel, and she gets it through. Abel led the Bears with 7 rebounds in that first half, makes it 8 there. Lambert goes for the pass, but it's stolen away by Babs. She slows it down, tries to get numbers. Here is now the pass. As it now goes inside, this was Abel. She misses, gets the offensive rebound, misses again. Loose ball is picked up. It's still in the Bears' possession. This is now Tucker. Tucker goes up for 2. No foul, and now it's going to be called for a charge. So Tanisha Tucker is called for the foul. A very late foul called on Tucker right there. As the shot went up, the foul was called as the ball was coming down. So a miss right there for Bloomfield. Now here's the Dolphins on the offensive side. Alarcon, good pass to Phelan for 3. It's good! Another long-range 3 for Dana Phelan. And the Dolphins extend their lead to 18. Alston now kicks it out. This is McDuffie. Back to Alston now to Babs. Alston now has the ball once again. Goes past Phelan, puts it up. No good. Ball's loose. And it's going to be Abel who gets the rebound. This is Tucker for 3. And that's a huge second chance made 3 from Tanisha Tucker. Johnson to Phelan. Now to Lambert. Almost a collision right there from Johnson and Lambert on that pass from Phelan. She has it once again now to Alarcon. As Alarcon loses it off the tip from McDuffie, goes out of bounds and remains in possession of the Dolphins. Good pass from Johnson to Alarcon, but it was rejected by Abel. We've seen a bunch of times so far in the season the Dolphins with the inbound pass right up in the middle of the paint. And it almost worked to perfection right there, but a good rejection from Abel. Dolphins maintain the possession. Inbound is to Masinga. Masinga goes up with the 2. No foul is called, and it's going to be rebounded by Mahorn. Alston has the ball. Kicks it out. That was Babs. Now back to Alston. Now to Tucker. Tucker back to Alston. This is Babs again. Inside to Mahorn. And turnover right there forced by Johnson. Johnson passes up to Phelan. Phelan for 2. It's good. I lost my wording for a second there as Dana Phelan gets the fast break layup off the assist from Kaya Johnson. And a timeout is called by the Bears. We spoke about it at the half. The Dolphins had forced a couple turnovers on this Bears team in the first half, and they forced one right there and get a quick 2 points and take a 17-point lead as we'll head to this commercial break. Dolphins lead 45-28.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Back at the tank here at CSI, the Dolphins lead 45-28 over the Bloomfield College Bears. And a strong start once again for CSI here in this third quarter. Dolphins get a nice fast break layup on the pass from Kaya Johnson to Dana Phelan. And they now take a 17-point lead here in this one. Bears will inbound it right here as they look to get back into this game. Phelan now leading the team with 14 points. Had her once on the TLC post-game show, maybe once again, as Alston knocks down a big 3 to put the game within 14. Seja Alston from 3, now makes it 45-31. And the turnover now from Lambert is forced by Darby. Here's now Alston with the ball. Bears trying to make this one interesting. This is Tucker for 3. Back-to-back threes for the Bears as Tanisha Tucker knocks it down, and it's now an 11-point game. So just like that, the Bears call a timeout, and they go on a quick 6-0 run. Lambert to Rose. Rose now to Johnson. Johnson with the long range two. It's good. Kaya Johnson with a long range two once again. Gives the Dolphins back a 13-point lead. Babs kicks it inside. Ball's loose and picked up by Rose. Rose was looking up court, saw LaFaro, but loses the handling. And the Dolphins will now have to play it slow and now go up the court. LaFaro now has it in the corner, kicks it out to Lambert. This is now to Rose. Ball's tipped in transition and stolen away by Darby. Also now brings it up for the Bears. She gets it out to Babs. Tucker inside to Darby, excuse me. This one now is to Mahorn. Mahorn goes up with it, is rejected by Alarcon. Ball was loose and picked up by Johnson. Here are the Dolphins with the numbers. Johnson goes up with the layup. It's good! Nice job by Kaya Johnson there on the fast break. A tough bucket on that layup, and she's able to give her team now a 15-point lead. Darby to Tucker, now to Bass. And Bass with the turnover right there. She was looking to get to Darby. Dana Phelan will check back in for the Dolphins. As we have a media timeout coming up, so we'll take another quick commercial break here at the Tank. Dolphins lead the Bears 49-34. Back from the Tank here on the campus of the College of Staten Island. The Dolphins lead the Bears 49-34. As Kaya Johnson with their previous 2 points for the Dolphins gave them a 15-point lead. Johnson now has 8 points in this one. Phelan leads the way with 14, Lambert with 13. And for the Bloomfield side, Tanisha Tucker leads the way with 13 points, but she is the only scorer so far for the Bears in double figures. Lambert kicks it inside to Alarcon. Now it's back to Lambert. This is now to Phelan. She kicks it to Rose. Back to Phelan. Now this is Lambert for three. Misses. Offensive rebound from Rose. Rose puts it up. No foul is called, and it's rebounded by Tucker. Tucker seems to be a little gingerly bringing the ball up the court. As she gets into a collision with Alarcon, and Alarcon is called for the foul.
Blocking foul charge number 13, Janice on the court. It's her third foul.
So that's Alarcon's third foul now of the game. As the Bears will inbound the ball. Erica Mercedes will check in for Saja Alston. Tucker will inbound it. This one is to Mahorn. Disguise now back to Tucker. Tucker goes up. Good inside pass is to Darby, and Darby makes the two. That was a tough pass right there from Tucker to get it to Darby, but Darby was able to get the two and cut the deficit to 13 once again. Alarcon to Rose. Rose loses the ball off the tip, still has it. This is Lambert, kicks it out to Phelan. Phelan for three. Splash! A friendly bounce for Dana Phelan, and she knocks down another three. And the Dolphins now lead it 52-36. The shot was missed by Mercedes and rebounded by Rose. Ball goes out of bounds. Main possession of the Dolphins is there wasn't an initial whistle. Dolphins bench was looking for a foul on that one. As Masinge checks in for Alarcon. Alarcon is in foul trouble with three now, so she'll check out for a bit. Johnson now has the ball, gives it up to Rose. This is now Johnson. Cuts to the basket, goes up for the two, misses off the mark. Offensive rebound is tipped from Masinge to Johnson. Johnson has a second chance, and she'll go to the free throw line. So Johnson missed her original shot. Masinge got the offensive rebound off the tip. And then it was Johnson that went up once again and was able to force the foul. As the first free throw is made by Johnson. Kaya Johnson potentially approaching a double-double watch here. Those two free throws now give her 10 points in this game. And she also has 6 assists on this one. So she is 4 assists shy of a double-double. The shot is by Mercedes. It's off the mark, and it goes off of the hands of Abel and out of bounds, going right back to CSI. 1:55 to go in the third quarter. Here's Phelan now with the ball. Big start to the second half for her. She kicks it to Johnson. Johnson looking to go somewhere with this one. 10 to go on the shot clock. Johnson to Phelan. Phelan for three once again. Off the mark and rebounded by Skies. Bears have numbers. This is Abel, but she was not able to maintain the possession, and she's called for a travel. And that is one for Bloomfield that you would want to have back. As Kaya Johnson will get a nice hand as she checks out for Lizzie LaFaro. 3-on-2 for the Bears in that transition, and they were not able to capitalize as Abel was not, no pun intended, able to hold on to the pass. Lambert inside to Rose. Rose goes up with it, no good, and it's rebounded by Darby. This is Skies with the ball. Kicks it out to Tucker. Tucker for three. That one's off the mark. Ball is loose and rebounded by Rose. Now the Dolphins have a chance, and Rose is fouled in transition. Oh, correction, they're going to call that one on the Dolphins. It's going to be a turnover on Rose. So it will stay in the possession of Bloomfield right here. 54 seconds to go in the third quarter. This is Abel with it. Goes up with it. Tough basket is missed. Offensive rebounded by Darby, and it's good. Denia Darby will make it now a 54-38 game. LaFaro will give it to Rose. Rose cuts to the basket. Goes up with it. Misses. Ball's loose. Still loose and picked up by Tucker. Chance here for the Bears. It's Mercedes on the fast break and gets the layup to go. Erica Mercedes with the two makes it a 14-point game. Dolphins now have a chance at the final shot of this third quarter. 10 seconds to go. Lambert has the ball. Gets a screen from Masinge. She cuts to the basket. Lambert goes up with it. It's rejected by Mercedes. Ball is still loose. Chance for Tucker to go up the final shot. No shot is called. And that will be the end of the third quarter here on the College of Staten Island. A little bit of a rally for the Bears going into this fourth quarter. Dolphins lead Bloomfield 54-40. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter here at CSI.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Back for the fourth quarter here at CSI. The Dolphins lead the Bears 54-40. As the Bears will look to try to make a big-time rally here in the fourth quarter, get them back into the game. Abel with the shot, no good. Offensive rebounded by McDuffie, and she'll go to the free throw line. So 10 seconds in, the Dolphins will call for the foul. Singh call for the foul. As Alarcon will check back in for the Dolphins. Lane violation on that second free throw.
Lane violation is a call. No shot.
So the Dolphins will have the ball up 13. Second free throw did not count due to the lane violation. This is Phelan now with it. Gives it to LaFaro. And LaFaro will be fouled in the process by Tucker. Phelan will inbound it to Alarcon. Now to Johnson, now to Masinge. And Alarcon was tripped in the process by Skies. Alarcon slow to get up. And you can see she's a little bit gingerly getting up. Seems to be okay. She'll get the inbound pass and now kicks it out to Johnson. This is now to Masinge. Dolphins looking to get Alarcon the ball. But Darby, good defense on her so far. Here is Johnson now with it. 8 to go in the shot clock. Johnson with another pull-up jumper. Off the mark. Ball is loose. Rebounded by Phelan, and she's not able to get it through. Rebounded by McDuffie. Inside pass from McDuffie is going to be called for a charge. So Jasmine McDuffie called for the charge on that one, and it goes right back to CSI. This is Masinge now, gives it up to Phelan. She gives it up to Johnson. Johnson thought about the pull-up jumper, looking for somewhere to go. Gives it up to Alarcon, and gets the and one. Jenna-Lise Alarcon with an and one off the feed from Johnson. And it's now a 15-point game once again as Alarcon will go for the and one. As the free throw was no good. Remains a 15-point game. 7 assists now for Johnson. The shot by Abel is good. It's back to 13. Johnson now 3 assists shy of a double-double. She kicks it out to Masinge. Masinge to Phelan. Phelan leads the team with 17 points. And a turnover right there from LaFaro as it's turned over and forced by Darby. Here's now Tucker. She brings it up the court. Loses the ball in transition and now is called for dribbling. Tucker not happy with the call. Ball was tipped by the Dolphins, and Tucker trying to plead her case that was the reason that happened. She had the double dribble. So another turnover for Bloomfield. The Dolphins get it right back. Alarcon looking for someone to go with it. Gives it to LaFaro. LaFaro thought about the 3. Now gives it back to Alarcon. Alarcon will shoot the 3. Off the mark. Good rebound from Phelan, and she knocks it in. Dana Phelan following the shot and able to get under the basket and get the behind-the-look layup to put the Dolphins up 15. This is Abel now with the ball. She'll put up the 2. Off the mark. Ball's loose and it will remain in possession of Bloomfield.
Into the game for the Bears, number 4, Ahmed Chol.
This is Skies with the ball out to Tucker. Tucker with the step back 3. That one is good. A step back 3-pointer from Tanisha Tucker cuts the deficit to 12 with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Johnson kicks it out to Alarcon. She now gives it to LaFaro. LaFaro puts it up. No good. And she loses a shoe in the process. So LaFaro now goes up the court with just one shoe on. And it looks like Bloomfield is taking a timeout. So 6:44 to go in the fourth quarter. A Tanisha Tucker 3-pointer now makes this a 12-point game. Dolphins lead the Bears 58-46. We'll be right back from this commercial break.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast. Everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials. Check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
And we're back here for the remaining 6:44 of this fourth quarter. The Dolphins lead now down to 12, 58-46. Bears will inbound it as they look to make a rally here late in the fourth quarter. This will be Skies with the ball. She puts it up on the floater. It's no good and rebounded by Rose. Alarcon now has the ball. Gives it back to Johnson. She'll kick it out to Lambert. Lambert to Phelan. Phelan thought about the 3 for a second. Thought about it once again. Kicks it inside to Alarcon. To Rose! Almost an and one. And the Dolphins will get 2 free throws coming up for Kyra Rose.
Bears fouls on number 1, Kayla Sykes. That's her second foul. Team's fifth.
And you've got to like what the Dolphins have done today when in terms of playmaking ability. A nice job by Alarcon to see Rose cutting to the basket. And she'll go to the free throw line out for 2. And she'll make the first one. Rose misses the second, and it's rebounded by Mahorn. This is Tucker at the three-point line, giving the pass from Alston. Now she'll give it back to Alston. This one goes to Skies. Back to Alston. Inside to Chol. Chol puts up the fadeaway, and it's no good. And rebounded by Alarcon. Johnson looking to slow up the mentality here for the Dolphins offensively as they try to milk some clock. Under 6 minutes to go in the fourth. This is Phelan now with it. Phelan trying to put up a jump shot but loses the ball, and it's turned over and forced by Tucker. Tucker now has it. She will go up to the basket, and she will get the foul called.
CSI fouls on number 4, Kaya Johnson. It's her first foul. Team second.
So Tanisha Tucker will go to the line to shoot two. Chance to make this an 11-point game. And she misses the first one. Tucker leading the Bears in points with 16 points. Their next leading scorer are two players with 6. Tucker is trying to will her team back into this one. She does make the second to make it a 12-point game. So now 17 on the night for Tucker. This is Johnson with the ball. Inside to Alarcon. Alarcon will be fouled. No shot before that.
Blocking foul charge to number 4.
And correction, they will actually give Alarcon the shooting foul, so she will go to the free throw line. And the reason being is that the Bears are in the bonus, so that was their 15th foul. So the Dolphins will be in the bonus now for the rest of the game as Alarcon goes 1 or 2 from the free throw line, gives her team back a 13-point lead. Bears will now have to be careful on the defensive side for the rest of this one. Skies has the ball, gives it up to Tucker. Tucker has it once again on the pass from Alston. Tries to go up with a jump shot, but a good job from Alarcon's defense. Ball is loose. It's Mahor that has it, and a jump ball is called. And it looks to be that Tucker is shaken up on the play. And Tucker seems to be okay. She's able to walk off the court. Tucker was involved in the loose ball scram on that jump ball.
Entering the game is number 2, Cameron Hibbs.
Overall for the Dolphins, it's been a pretty good night for them as a team. Dana Phelan leading the way with 19 points. Lambert adding 13. Johnson with 10. Alarcon with 9. Dolphins have had some good contributions from all around as a unit. And with that jump ball, the possession error was in their favor. So it's going to be CSI basketball under 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Men's and women's team will be, their next contest will be on Wednesday against Malloy. A doubleheader at Malloy. And we'll talk about what the Dolphins' next home game will be in just a little bit as Phelan has the ball. Gets it back to Lambert. Lambert gives it up to Rose. Rose puts it up. No good. Ball's loose. And it's going to be rebounded on the play from Skies. She now brings up the ball. She'll go up with it, puts up the 2, and it's no good. A rebounded by Lambert. And it's going to be CSI getting free throws as a foul was called. So Skies is called for the personal foul. Third foul on Skies, and with the Bears being over the limit, that brings up 2 free throws now for Lambert. So Lambert goes for 2 right here. Makes the first one. and knocks down the second. Lambert now with 15 in the game. And the Dolphins' lead is 15 now. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go. 62-47 is the score. And almost a turnover right there. Kept alive from Mahorn. She puts up the 2. No good. And Masinge is able to grab the rebound. Nice rebound right there from Masinge. And now ties her for the team lead in rebounds. Lambert for 3. Off the mark. Almost rebounded by Johnson, and it's brought down by Mahorn. This is Skies now with the ball. This one is now to Alston. This is Babs now with it. Kicks it inside to Mahorn. Mahorn goes up with it and puts it in. Tiara Mahorn with the big 2 right there. Makes it a 13-point game once again. 3:20 to go in the fourth. Dolphins looking to close this one out. Rose cuts to the basket and is blocked in the process by Darby. So Alarcon checks back in for CSI. They lead by 13. She'll get the inbound pass from Johnson, and now Johnson has the ball once again. Johnson to Alarcon. Alarcon for 3. Off the mark, and Phelan comes up with the rebound, but the shot clock violation is enforced as the ball did not hit the rim. So once again, Phelan got an offensive rebound off of a missed 3. But a shot clock violation forced right there. Misses by Mahorn. Darby got the rebound, and she is fouled in the process. Looks to be maybe a jump ball on that play, and that indeed was the call. Tucker now has it. Tucker goes up and is blocked by Lambert. She still has the ball. Tough bucket for Tucker right there is missed, and a good defensive play by Lambert, and now Tucker is called for a foul.
Number 15, Tanisha Tucker. That's her 3rd foul. Team is in the bonus.
So another foul on Tucker. Lambert once again will go to the free throw line.
2 shots for Lambert.
As Lambert is not able to knock down the first free throw. Lambert does make the second. Back to a 14-point game, and she'll check out for Kira Stackhouse. So the Dolphins looking to avoid any second chance opportunities here late in this fourth quarter for the Bears as they get some size down low with Stackhouse. Tucker with the ball. Kicks it to Darby, and Darby is not able to get it, and it's going to be out on Tucker and going back to CSI. Lambert checks back in for Stackhouse, and expect to see that for the next couple of minutes. Lambert and Stackhouse potentially checking in and out for the offense and defensive sides. Phelan has the ball, gives it up to Johnson. Back to Phelan. Phelan to Alarcon. Alarcon to Lambert on the cut, and it's rejected by Tucker. An emphatic rejection right there from Tanisha Tucker to swat that one away on the Lambert layup. 13 to go on the shot clock. Johnson has the ball. 10 now, under 10 to go on the shot clock. This is the Phelan. Dolphins got to put up a shot. They're not going to be able to. Turned over and forced by Darby. Darby will go up with the layup, and she banks it in. Darby now makes it a 12-point game, and that's a possession the Dolphins have got to try to avoid down the remaining under 2 minutes of this fourth quarter. And a foul is called on McDuffie there. So Dana Phelan will go to the free throw line.
2 shots for Phelan.
He's at 19 points right now. Phelan knocks down the first one. Phelan's season high on the year so far was 14. That came in back-to-back contests against Bridgeport and Holy Family. And she now makes it 65-51 with the free throws. So Phelan now has a career high. As the basket was made right there by Darby. Back to a 12-point game. Phelan now with 21, a career high for her. And she tried to get the pass to Stackhouse and turns it over. So Lambert checks out. Stackhouse checks back in. Minute 16 to go. 12-point game. Dolphins trying to hold on for their second straight. Tucker has it. Approaching the 1-minute mark. Tucker goes up for it. No shot. They're going to call a block on Johnson. So Johnson does get credited with the block on that one. And it'll remain in the possession of the Bears. 1:04 to go. 18 on the shot clock. Tucker will be the one to inbound it. Bears have got to be quick down this remaining 1 minute of this game. Inside pass to Darby. Darby on the post move with a nice 2 points right there. And it's a 10-point game with under a minute left. And the Dolphins will take a timeout. So a 30-second timeout for CSI will stay right here for the remaining 55 seconds of this fourth quarter. And the Bears have now made this one just a little bit interesting. Last couple of possessions for the Dolphins have been empty possessions on turnovers. And it's now just a 10-point game. Yeah, the Dolphins are able to hold on. Dana Phelan would be our TLC physical therapy player of the game with her career high 21 points. Seeing the emergence of Phelan this season, Joe and I talked about it in the pregame. Leads the team with 12.5 points per game and has certainly added to that points per game margin with her 21-point performance here today and maybe adding a little bit more down the remaining 55 seconds of this one. She will inbound the ball. She gives it up to Johnson, and Johnson's immediately fouled on the play by Skies.
Bears foul number 1, Kayla Sykes. That's her 4th foul. Team is in the bonus. At the line, Kaya Johnson for 2.
So Kaya Johnson will go to the free throw line. 2 important free throws right here for the Dolphins. And she makes the first one. Johnson knocks down both. 2 big free throws for CSI. They go back up 12. 50 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Tucker has the ball. Off the screen. She shoots for 3 and knocks it down. Tanisha Tucker from 3 makes it a 9-point game. And Dana Phelan will be fouled by McDuffie.
Bears foul number 14, Jasmine McDuffie. That's her 4th foul.
So McDuffie now has 4 fouls in this game. Phelan will go to the free throw line for 2. And she knocks down the first one. Misses the second. Ball's loose, and Masinge comes up with the offensive rebound. Lambert to Alicon, and Alicon is fouled. So a big offensive rebound right there from CSI as they were able to milk off some clock right there and force more free throws coming up.
2 shots at the line for Alicon.
So Alicon now goes to the free throw line. 34.4 to go in the fourth.
Correction on the foul is on number 14, Jasmine McDuffie. That's her 5th foul.
And the foul now is on McDuffie, so that's going to be her 5th foul. So she is fouled out of the game. Could be Tyra Smith checking in for Bloomfield as McDuffie's day is done. Alicon knocks down the first free throw. And she goes 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 12-point lead for CSI. Dolphins will pick up their second straight win and go over 500. Tucker for 3. Off the mark. And the ball will go out of bounds. It'll be CSI's basketball. Bears made it interesting here in the second half, but the slow start in the first half looks to be will cost them this one as the Dolphins will call a timeout with 24.3 to go in this fourth quarter. As I mentioned, we'll be joined by Dana Phelan for our TLC Physical Therapy post-game show as she is going to be our player of the game today. And how about the game she had today? Career high in points with 22 points. Had some big offensive rebounds, 5 total for the game. But she had some good contributions overall from her teammates. Ashley Lambert added 16. Kaya Johnson added 12. Generalise Alicon added 11. And we spoke about what the Dolphins did rebounding-wise. Masinge, Rose both had 6 rebounds. Phelan and Johnson added 5. And Kaya Johnson led the team with 7 assists. She was 3 assists shy of a double-double on this one. But the Dolphins getting some key contributions all around from them in this game. And it looks to be that they're going to hold on to get this win. Would be their 3rd win of the season. Their next game on Wednesday against Malloy. As Phelan will inbound the ball. She'll inbound it to Lambert. Doesn't look to be that the Bears will foul in this scenario. It looks to be the Dolphins will just run out the clock and pick up their 3rd win of the season. And Alicon will dribble it out, and the Dolphins, with a strong effort in this one, once again, get an overall great performance from their team as they pick up a 70-58 win over Bloomfield in this one. And they now head into their doubleheader with the men's and women's both playing Malloy on Wednesday at Malloy. But for now, I will take a quick break here at CSI. I will be joined by our TLC Physical Therapy Player of the Game, Dana Phelan, coming off career high in points. We'll be right back from this commercial break.
Chi Aesthetics Med Spa and Wellness Center. Our approach to beauty and wellness begins with a holistic plan tailored to the unique needs of our patients. When we consult with patients, we let them tell us what their problem is. We don't tell them what the issue is. We find out what they're looking for, and we discuss, and then we give them options. If you're looking to achieve radiant skin, you've come to the right place. We offer hydrofacials, microneedling, Opus Plasma, peels, facial and laser treatments, laser hair removal, body sculpting, fat freezing, hormone replacement therapy, Botox, IV drip therapy, and more. We are open Monday through Saturday and are located at 720 Forest Avenue, Staten Island, New York, 10310. We hope to see you soon. Visit our website at www.chiaesthetics.com for more information.
And we're back here for the TLC Physical Therapy post-game report. And we have our TLC Physical Therapy Player of the Game, Dana Phelan. Career high for you tonight, 22 points. What was the key for you in this game overall with your 22-point performance?
I just kept shooting no matter what. If I was missing, I was just having confidence, just keep shooting the ball. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the key for you. Confidence is always the key when it comes down to shooting, and you certainly showed that in this game. You also had some huge offensive rebounds, But you also had a big game from Kaya Johnson. She was able to facilitate and able to get you guys some big-time shots. She had 7 assists in this one. What does she bring overall to you guys' offense and trying to get you those open shots?
She's a good leader, and she's very good at passing the ball. Yeah.
That perfectly sums it up. So thank you, Dana, for joining us here on the TLC Physical Therapy postgame show. Congratulations on your career high in points, and go celebrate with your team. So the Dolphins pick up a 70-58 win here at the Tank. A big night for Dana Fela, coming up with 22 points, a career high for her. The Dolphins also got some big contributions from Ashley Lambert, Kaya Johnson, and Jenelise Alarcon as they get their second straight win on the season. They now go to 3-2 with the win. As we mentioned, their next game will be on Wednesday as they take on Malloy at Malloy. The men's team will also be taking on Malloy this upcoming Wednesday. The men's game today will be at 4 o'clock against Bentley University, so make sure to tune in for that one for CSI. The next time we will be here will be next Saturday as the Dolphins will have a doubleheader here against Queens College for both the men's and the women's team. But that will do it for today's game between the Dolphins and the Bears. Once again, the final score, 70-58. The Dolphins picking up their third win of the season. They now head to Malloy on Wednesday for a key doubleheader against Malloy. But from all of us here at the College of Staten Island, this has been Nicholas Pavona, joined alongside by all of us here at CSI. Thank you for today's broadcast, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.